Okay, I'm making this video because hopefully it'll help people with what appears to be a common problem. Now, I was trying to import or add a video um, or segment that I shot into the project assets in Premiere Elements 11. I know that's an old one, but when I had this problem, people seem to be having it with 12, 13, 15, so it's not confined to, an older version of Premiere Elements. And when you try to bring it into the project assets, it would give you a generic error. So like this, watch, okay? So here's one. And um, when I researched it, people said that it was happening with MP4, MOV. I had it with I get it with MOV, but there appears to be no rhyme or reason. It did it with 24 frames per second. It did it with 30 frames per second. It did it with 29.98 frames per second. So I couldn't figure out any reason why. But watch what happens. See, try to bring that one into it, and you get the says the importer reported a generic error. So that's what happens. I spent a lot of time researching it. Let me show you. I went on here and I did the search. What is a generic error in Adobe Premiere Elements 11? And so I found that a lot of people, here's one, file won't import, generic error, Elements 12. People ask, what is a generic error in Premiere? What is a generic error? Other people did videos. One guy said, well, you clear a cache. Other people said that you go and you have to download another software to convert it, which is kind of what I did. I didn't download any new software, but I did have to convert it, and I'll get to that in a second here. I'm just showing you all the different things. People did different videos. One guy said to uninstall and reinstall. It wasn't happening with just Premiere Elements. It was happening with Premiere Pro. So you see there's a lot of results here with this problem and videos. And so what I did, which worked, but you're going to need Apple or a Mac, and luckily I have one. And after going around and around this and trying different things and seeing, changing the file name, no, that was another suggestion. Someone said that didn't work. Still got it. But what I ended up doing was putting it on a flash drive, connecting the flash drive, putting the files in question on a flash drive, transferring it into my Mac. And then I brought them into iMovies, and these were MOV files that I had the problem with, MOV. So I brought it into iMovies, and then I just exported it, and it exports it to an MP4 file. And I found that by when I exported it from iMovies as an MP4 file, and 9.5 minutes of video was 1.3 gigabytes. Well, I don't know if that's the norm. I haven't checked, but it worked. So once I saved it, or I exported it from iMovies as an MP4 file, I then brought it back to the Mac where I have the Premiere 11, and it brought it in. So if you all are having this problem, you have a Mac, that should resolve it. At least it resolves it and other people were having it with an MP4 file, and they had to convert it to something else because it wasn't, recognizing an that you were getting the generic error message with an MP4 file. But I was getting them with MOV files, and iMovie exported it as an MP4, and then I was able to bring that MP4 into Premiere 11, and the quality was pretty good. It didn't seem to lose any quality, when it went from an MOV to an MP4. And another note here. This is like on an iPhone 8 Plus that this problem was having. I never had this problem with my old, my old Samsung J7 Prime, which is a much cheaper phone. I never had that problem, but with an expensive iPhone 8 Plus, had to waste a lot of time figuring this out and have to do this cumbersome procedure to be able to use that video to edit it in Premiere 11, but it worked. There you go. I hope this helps. Someone else struggling with this problem. All right, that's it.